Hello, it's me Luigi Marinus, and today I'm gonna review the Minions movie. Sorry if I'm a bit late to the party and didn't get to review this movie back on July 10th for its 10th anniversary, but still happy late 10th anniversary to this underrated movie. Anyway, back in 2015 I was really excited for this, and it used to be one of my favorite Despicable Me and Illumination movies. Admittedly, it kinda moved a bit lower, as I don't think it's as good as Despicable Me 1 and 2. But I still have fond memories of this movie. So this movie honestly pretty simple, but sometimes being simple is just what a movie needs to be. It's about a Minions trio named Kevin, Stuart and Bob. Kevin is the leader who is brave and wants to look out for his other minions and help find their boss. Stuart is the cool one who likes to play guitar and is also down bad as well sometimes. Then we got Bob, who is the cute bubbly one of the Minions trio, and he's like a baby minion. The minions all have failed to get to boss like a T-Rex, caveman, Egyptians and other masters they wanted to work for. Kevin plans to go on an adventure to find their master to serve them. The main message of the Minions movies is that even though the minions are small and sometimes clumsy, they are capable of great things and have a strong sense of loyalty and teamwork. The films also explore themes of the importance of intergenerational relationships. Ultimately, the minions demonstrate that even villains can inspire loyalty and that friendship and support are crucial, even when pursuing a somewhat evil goal. The movie also does have a lot of heartwarming moments with the minions. Yeah, sure, the absence of Gru for most of the movie besides a few cameos, and the ending does make it somewhat weaker than Despicable Me 1, 2 and 4 in The Rise of Gru, but there are still some family moments to be found in this movie, like how Scarlet Overkill reads a bedtime story and treats the minions like her sons at the beginning. So the heart of this movie is in the right place. I also like how fast-paced this movie is. It goes from a lot of different locations to the next, but it doesn't feel rushed. The minions in the mall hear on the news about Villain Con, where a lot of villains come together. I also like how the minions use different gadgets on their mission to steal the crown from the Queen of England and give it to Scarlet Overkill. Unfortunately, Bob became king, which made Scarlet Overkill mad. I actually do like Scarlet and Herb Overkill as villains, and they are a couple great duo, and I do like their chemistry a lot. It's one of my favorite villain couples in animated movies, because of how much they support each other. And I am glad they made a cameo in Despicable Me 4. Scarlet Overkill is kind of a badass, and I don't mind if they do mid-quel about her, and how she became a supervillain. I do like her motivation of wanting to become the Queen of England despite being basic. It does work in my opinion. She's a supervillain anyway, so of course she would want to rule England. Herb Overkill is an inventor and the husband of Scarlet Overkill, and he helps the minions on their mission by giving them gadgets that can help them on their mission, like the Hypno Hat for Stuart, Lava Gun for Kevin and Stretch Arms for Bob to stretch himself long so he doesn't have to run so fast. I thought the villain family were nice side characters, and I would like to see more of them in the future too. The animation, while not really being anything special, is still nice to look at and does hold up nicely. And there are some hand-drawn animated sequences during the movie too sometimes, which, whether you love or hate this movie, you gotta admit that scene at the beginning is pretty adorable. And I also like the character designs of the background characters and some of the side characters. And the animation does provide a cartoony squash and stretch like the other Despicable Me movies before it. I like all the different villains that we get to see in Villain Con, and how they come back in the third act to go after the minions. I think the humor of this movie is also really funny, and one of the funniest scenes was when the minions were running from the bears to travel, and they are all trapped. I also like how Kevin, Stuart and Bob don't even get hurt in the torture room, and they start having fun with Herb. I really am a fan of its typical slapstick humor. My favorite part was when the minions met Gru at the end. And it did set up the masterpiece that is Minions: The Rise of Gru, which I thought was an improvement from the first movie, and I didn't just love it because of the memes, although they were pretty funny too, of course. Whether this movie is good or bad can differ from anyone or another. But this movie is made for Minions fans and Minions fans only. If you love Minions in general, then you will absolutely love this movie. I am aware that not every adult likes this movie, and that is understandable, but I still think this movie very underrated, and one of my favorite movies of 2015 alongside Inside Out, Sponge Out of Water, Hotel Transylvania 2, Home, and the Peanuts movie. I do think this movie is a little bit overhated, as it's not one of the worst movies ever made, unlike some people say, but if you like Minions shenanigans like I do, then you will have a good time. But ever since the 2020s we know that Illumination can do even better than this. It's better than Despicable Me 3, but even I would still prefer the other Despicable Me movies and The Rise of Gru over this movie. As for my ratings, my critical rating would be an 8 out of 10 and personal rating would be a 9 out of 10. And this movie gets the "That is cinema" quote.
That is cinema.
I may be a bit biased, but I just still love this movie despite its flaws that it does have. Stay tuned for my review of The Bad Guys 2 later on August, which I hope will be worth the wait. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video.